Then he says, I wrote all these things. I wrote all these literatures. What did he wrote up until now? It's important to our offense discussion. He wrote Vedas, Upanishads, he wrote Vedanta Sutras, he wrote so many things. And then what is being written in that? It is been written in that it has been written about Karma Kanda. Most of them deal with Karma Kanda. Now, what is Karma Kanda? If I do this, I get this. If I go to Lord Shiva and then worship him very nicely, and then he'll give a good husband. If I go to Parvati Devi and worship her very nicely, she'll give good husband, good wife. If one goes to Indra and worships him, his appetite for sex life is increased. That means he becomes strong. He can do nicely. If he goes to some other Devi Devata, if he goes to Vayu Dev, then he gets some benediction. If he goes to Surya Dev, so his health will be very, very powerful. His health will be strong when one offers Surya Namaskar, how to offer Surya Namaskar, how to bend the feet, how to offer pranams. If one goes to Chandra, then his mind will be pacified. He will be peaceful. Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. He'll have that peaceful peace of mind. And if he goes to someone else, he'll get something else. These are all being written in the scriptures, in the Vedas. But the person who wrote, after writing that, he himself is not satisfied. The author, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasdev, he is a Shaktavesh avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. That means the Lord personally descended. Now the person who wrote, he himself is not satisfied with that. But what to speak of people who read them, who understand them, and then follow them? What is the destination of them? Will they be satisfied? I don't think so. They'll be satisfied. So the same thing is there in eighth offense. Eight to consider chanting of Hare Krishna or the auspice of ritualistic activity offered in the Vedas. This is to activities Karma Kanda. That means whoever chants Hare Krishna, thinking that my problems will be gone, thinking that my husband will hear to me, thinking that my wife will hear to me, or I'll get that, or I'll get some money, or I'll get some name, fame, profit, adoration, thinking that that will happen, this will happen. So many of these things will happen while chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna, I'm chanting, please give me this. Krishna, I'm chanting, please give me that. That will not work. Matter of fact, it is not. It is not a matter of working or not. It is an offense against the holy names. So when Narada Muni comes and then he hears from Vyasdev, Vyasdev was expressing his heart. And then he says, what to do? Dear spiritual master, somehow I'm in this situation. I did everything, but somehow I'm not happy. My heart is not satisfied. I don't know what I should do. Then he immediately says, you never glorified the Lord. You never glorified his devotees. All right, Bhagavatam, which is the essence of everything. Srimad Bhagavatam, its essence. It gives the entire thing. Please write that. The beauty. Because the moment, and then within no time, dear devotees, hardly no time, his heart got pacified. He was free from all these inebrities of Karma Kanda. The person who himself wrote, he was not satisfied in his heart. But if you go to India, everyone does this only. Because Americans, they don't know about this. That's why they could easily take up to the process of Krishna consciousness nicely. After when Srila Prabhupada told them, Prabhupada said, just ignore all these things and then chant Hare Krishna. They immediately took it up. Because for them, the Karmakanda disease is not afflicted. It's a disease actually. It's like, for Prabhupada says, if the finger is completely affected with the disease, the only solution is to cut off that finger. When the finger is cut off, then the body is not afflicted with the disease. Then the doctor, what he would do, he would cut off that finger. Because the entire finger is affected. The finger is not cut off. You're thinking, oh, what's going to happen? My finger, my finger, my finger. But the entire body will be, the disease will be, will enter the entire body. So it has to be removed right away. So this Karmakanda is a diseased state. Karmakanda is not for the Americans. Karmakanda is for the Indians actually. Because they don't know about that. Now we know the Karmakandic principles. Let me do this, let me do that, let me do for some benefit, let me do this for some other benefit. Let me give some charity so that I'll be happy, I'll be peaceful. So nothing has to be done in our life on these lines of Karmakandic principles. Nothing. Not just chanting. I remember my spiritual master telling, when devotees go to him and then when they try to give some donation, he would immediately ask, why are you giving this? I don't want your donation. Why are you giving this? Then the person who is giving, he should convince that I really want to please. I don't want any other motive. I have no other motive. Because he's very clear. If we have any other motive behind giving some donation, he says, just keep that with you. I don't want that. Just keep it with you. I don't want. I remember he told me also when I first started giving donation, he said, why are you giving? Don't give. If your attitude is not right, I'll not take it. Give only if your attitude is good. Otherwise, just keep it with you. Hell with your money, I don't want. Because why these personalities are telling like this? The reason is, for example, if you give some donation, let's say you give like $500 to the ISKCON Tampa. Let's say you give $500. When you give 500, for example, when you give $500 to the ISKCON Tampa, let's say yesterday was Radhashtami. I'm just giving an example. Let's say you give $500 for the Radhashtami, and then, but the intention behind it is, if I do this, then my son is not actually listening. Hope he will listen. Krishna, please. Please, Krishna, please. I want this to happen. If he listens, then he will become a big man. Or he will do that, he will do this. So many other things. Okay. He should listen. Okay. With that intention, with that prayer, it has been submitted. Or let me get some peace. Or my relationships are bad. Let me see that my relationships are improved. Okay. With that attitude, it is being given. Or if I give, then the community devotees will appreciate me. I'll also tell the devotees, I give $500. What is happening, dear devotees, here? Here, we are doing an action, but we are not trying to see why are we doing it. Yes, we are doing it for something else is there. Let's say a person might expect some respect out of it. That's why one is doing. Or the person might exponent himself that, oh, I've done this service, so they should put the name somewhere in the in the temple. You see, actually, you go to the temples, you see so many people's name being listed there. Palana person has given, so and so person has given this much amount of money. So and so person, it's been written there. They honor that person. They call him. They say that, oh, you did great. This is a great service, amazing service. We see in our circle also, in our temples also, that thing happening. If somebody gives some donation, then they give like chadar, Harinam chadar to them. Not Harinam chadar. Harinam chadar is given during initiation. They'll give something and then they say that, oh, you give $3,000. Oh, you give $5,000. Great. All that giving and then taking, it's all punya. Please understand, that's not devotion. It's on the platform of karma kanda. It's not at all a devotion. Because that person who gave, he has no idea why he's giving. It's all his sinful money he's giving. By hook or crook, I don't know what he did. He's not a practitioner. He gave that money. Now that money these people are using, you know what's going to happen? For him, some punya will come. For this person who is doing that, he will also get some punya. Because both do not have right intentions. Person who is accepting, person who is taking. Both has to be there. That's why you remember, yes, couple of days back, we were discussing the authorization should be bona fide. That means the spiritual master should be bona fide. The disciple should also be bona fide. Prabhupada says, when both are like that, then it gels together. Then from both of their hearts, pure devotion is manifested. From both of their heart. It should be very clear why we are doing an action. If we do not have this clarity, we should ask and inquire, as we should learn those principles, and then we should move forward. In that way only. In that way, dear devotees, if you give like $1 with that attitude, that is the sowing, you're sowing the seed of pure devotion in your heart. What are you doing? $1. Forget about $1, 1 penny. Krishna will see that. That's why Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam toyam. The mother Draupadi, she gave one morsel of the rice. Now Krishna was telling, find, there should be some morsel in the Akshaya Patra. Please find that. I'll quickly tell that. I'll quickly tell about it. Now Akshaya Patra is a patra which is given to Mother Draupadi, so that she can feed all the Vaishnavas along with her family members. Right? When that is done, dear devotees, at the end she eats. As soon as she eats, there is nothing in that. This is a logic. And Duryodhana knows this. And then he sends. Who he sends? Who would like to tell? Who is the person he sent? Anyone?
Durvasa.
Correct. He sends Durvasa. Thank you, Prabhu. He sends Durvasa money, right? He knows. See the intention behind it. Want to put the other person down. That's why he's always struggling in his life. Duryodhana is always struggling. Because he's always aspiring to put the other person down. That's his nature. So the Rashmani goes, and then after everyone ate, then he comes. Now it's a tricky situation. So devotees are only kept in tricky situations, not others. Because through the tricky situation, Lord will show the greatness and the qualities of these personalities. And then now they are in a dire condition, and then Krishna comes. And then he says, Krishna, this is the situation. What do we do? Don't worry, don't worry. There is something in that. You check the Akshaya Path. You'll have something. Draupadi says that I cleaned everything. There's nothing in that. No, no, no. You go find. Then she finds that one morsel of rice. And she gives it to him. And then he eats. He's satisfied. The moment he's satisfied, everyone is satisfied. When Krishna is satisfied, who's satisfied? Everyone is satisfied. Just like all the Devi Devatas are satisfied. Likewise, here in this case, Durvasa Muni and all his disciples are like, their stomachs are heavy, they cannot come. Why am I telling this? Is Krishna is looking for that one morsel of rice. Is looking for that. These people, these Pandavas, they do not have anything in their life actually. Everything is there in the service of the Lord. They gave everything. They gave their manasa, deha, geya, jokichuma, arpitala topada, Nandakishwara. My dear Lord, everything belongs to you. Do you see any karmakandic portion in their life? No. No. Yudhishthir Maharaj had some agenda towards dharma, which is kind of karmakanda only. Some, he says that he will never speak untruth. There in the battlefield, he says he will never speak untruth. But Krishna kept in a situation. Krishna tells him, please speak untruth. He says, Krishna says, you speak untruth. No, he says, no, I will not speak untruth. There's some traces. Krishna will even remove that. That means, for example, I'll give an example how that will work. For example, spiritual master told us to eat only once in our life. Okay? That is the service, he said. No, from today onwards, you should eat only once. No, okay, to please the spiritual master, we do it. Now a day will come, a situation will come. This is a test. A situation will come in one's life where same spiritual master, he says, no, eat another time today. Second time. Okay. Now, if you are attached to the process, that means, oh, I should eat only once because I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling joyful. Arey, the same person told you, no, eat now, second time. When one follows that and then eats the second time, it is actually eating only once. Because what are we doing? We are not behind that instruction, we are behind that person. Just like Arjuna, he's not behind. He's not behind just following dharma. Initially, he was like that. But later, what happened? Initially, he had attachments through which he was away from that. He was leaving his dharma. There was a reason for that. But later, the moment Krishna gave him the truth, gave him those instructions, what happened after that? Immediately started doing his duty for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of Krishna. Started doing it. That gave him the victory. That means we will have so many other things, dear devotees, in our life, just like Arjuna had, just like so many people in this world they will have. But the moment we try to come out of that and then do what they are saying, then that is the marching towards pure devotion. Likewise, when what acharyas are telling us, when we follow them, then we see reflections and realizations in our heart. Then that moment is our moment to be free from this falsification. Falsification is what? Karma kanda is a falsification. Now let me give this, let me give that, let me give some this, some of this, some of that. Giving behind it is not to please the Acharya. If that motive is not there, then it is in the fruitive state. To do pure devotion, there is only one. But to come to that one state, it requires so much efforts. When that is established, then it makes sense of Manasa Deha Jo Kichumur Arpilatu Upadananda Kishora. My dear Lord, everything belongs to you. I'm just a mere servant. I'm an insignificant fool sitting here. Please help. Please help, dear Lord. Everything belongs to you. Even after giving everything, then the devotees are begging for that mercy. Please. I have no taste. I have no qualities. I have nothing in my life. Please help, dear Lord. This is the attitude which we need to cultivate to be free from this karmakandic activities. Because karmakanda is it's like a diseased condition actually. Because we've been through so many, all our life like that. We go to the temple, our mother will tell, today your results will come, go to the temple, and then you go to see your results. Requesting Krishna or the Lord or Ramachandra, please, please, please pass me. We do that. We begin in that way. I remember myself praying so many times like that. Please, Krishna, please help. I want to pass this. Please, please. There's nothing else. That's what we know at that time. But now when acharyas do come into our life, what they would do, just say, please, don't bother Krishna for those small things. Do not bother the Lord for those insignificant things. Just bother, just take shelter of the Lord, just to please Him, nothing else. Actually, going back home, back to Godhead is okay, is it a good desire. But even more important is, actually, I want to please the Lord. If He desires, He will take me home back to Godhead. If He desires, if He aspires, if He wants. It's very important. That means everything has to be done for them. That is a medicine for karma kanda. If everything is not done for them, then some traces of karma kandic activities will come into our heart. Oh, I've been serving for so many years here. What will happen if I take something from here? Been serving since so many years. I'll tell an example. One time a Brahmana, he was putting ghee, and then that ghee got, there's a ghee wig. He dipped the ghee wig in ghee, and then he kept, then he's doing it arti. Before doing that arti, his hand is there, his hand has some ghee, and then he felt, oh, let me do like this. Let me do it to my head. He was thinking literally that, yes, it will be like, let me use it for my body, the remaining portion. And then he started using it. You know what happened? So the person is actually doing it, but he went to hellish planets because he used it for his own thing. Now, is that the only reason for going to hellish planets? The attitude is also the reason. Because through that attitude, he will commit other sinful activities. So that piled up, and then obviously he will go to the hellish planets. Because, dear devotees, when the problem is in the attitude, our actions will be problematic. For example, I'll give another practical example. Now, if we are eating something outside, for example, went to the store and then you purchased something. Something purchased. Some sweets or something which is not cooked, which is cooked by somebody else. Through that purchase, what is happening? That person's attitude goes into that consciousness. His sinful desires, sinful propensities, they all go into that. Now we can say, I am offering this to Krishna. It's a pathetic situation. How can we offer something to the Lord which is not been prepared with right consciousness? How can we offer? Bhaktivika Swami Maharaj, he says about this. How can you offer that? How can you do some catering who are not devotees? And then how can you feed that to the Lord? How can you offer it to the Lord? And then how can you eat that after which? Is it not disgusting? It is disgusting. See, if your father is there, do you feed your father whatever is available? You'll ensure that your father came from work. You'll ensure that you make nice preparations for him. And then you feed him. Just out of love. Likewise, is Krishna not our father? Is he just a machine to remove our karmas? That Krishna, please take the offerings and then remove the sinful tendencies from this and then give it to me. Is that the reason why we offer? No. This is also karma kanda. Oh, I will offer it to the Lord so that the sin is removed. This is also karma kanda. That means, oh, when I'm free from the sin, then it is good for me. Oh, I should be free from the sinful activities. Oh, my consciousness will be disturbed. I'll not eat. These are not the reasons why these instructions were there. This is not the cause also. This was never been told by Srila Prabhupada like this. So this is not the reason. The primary reason of offering it to the Lord is to establish a relationship with Him. Because He's a person. He's a deity. Deity is Jagannath is there in that deity. Jagannath is there. He's sitting. He's actually watching us. He's seeing what am I doing all through the day. He's watching. He's there. He's there to accept our offerings. Now, what do we offer it to Him? We offer the best. Not some nonsense which somebody has cooked outside. Cannot ever do that. Never ever do that in our life. Cannot. We should never eat anything. Never eat anything outside. Because when these are things established in our heart, slowly you'll understand the truth which is being given by the acharyas. Prabhupada says actually in Nectar of Instruction, the first shloka which we discussed, Pacha Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam Jiva Vegam Udaropastha Vegam Etan Vegan Yo Visheta Dira Sarvam Apimam Prativim Shashishyat. When one uses the tongue to speak about the Lord, when one uses the tongue to honor Krishna Prasad, when one uses the tongue to aradhana, to glorify the devotees, to appreciate the devotees, when the tongue is used in that way, then the belly is controlled. And when the belly is controlled, then the genitals are controlled. Otherwise, if the tongue is not used in that way, belly is not controlled. When the belly is not controlled, the genitals become active. That's a problem in this world. Through that activity, what happens? Material nature is covering up. The external energy, she's covering us. She's covering us completely. So to become free from this, we should abide to this. When we understand the glories of the Lord, the magnanimity, it's a Krishna who is Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sucharacharam, Ete Chamsa Kalapumsum, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indriyani Vyakulam Nokam, Vijayanti, Mridayanti, Yuge Yuge. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha, Nadir Adir Govinda is the cause of all the causes. Now that person, what has to be fed to him? Pure. He's a pure person. What we have to feed him? Everything pure. We should do our best to offer pure things to him. Hare Krishna, fruits, vegetables. We should cut those vegetables. We should offer it to the Lord. Hare Krishna. These things have to be addressed. And then we should never think that, oh, there's a sin in this. Krishna is removing that sin. No. Out of love, we are doing it. One should never get initiated thinking that, oh, my spiritual master will remove the sins from me. That is also karma kanda. That devotee will never move forward in Krishna consciousness. His devotion is stuck. Because he goes to the spiritual master to purify the sins. No. No. That is also karma kanda. So many people will go through like this only. Oh, I did a lot of sinful activities. Now my master is there. He is my master. He will remove my sins. Why he should remove? Why they should remove? Hare Krishna. These are the tendencies which they reside in the heart. I know some devotees, they don't take initiation. They think that, oh, I'm sinful. I cannot. They're very sincere souls. Hare Krishna. Krishna pleases. Krishna is very pleased with that attitude. You think that, oh, I'm very sinful. How can I go? How can I go? Then they aspire for that. Let me become pure. Let me become pure. Then one day, he'll give that mercy. And then I'll continue my Sikshana after that, just to please him. I'll take good association. I'll follow his instructions. This is relationship. And when this is established, this fruitive activity, the fruitive will go away, will run away. It doesn't have any place. No place. It will run, jump. Will not stay. But these things have to be addressed. I know a lot of devotees would tell like this. Oh, is this free from onion, garlic? I'll just accept if it is free from that. No. We are not a society which is free from just onion and garlic. I remember one of the senior devotee, many years back. He came from Chowpatty. He told in the class once, very sincere soul. He said, our ISKCON is not like an organization which is just free from onion and garlic. This is more to this. Every person, all of you have a relationship with Krishna. You have a swabhava. You have a nature. You have a relationship. You might be a friend. You might be his friend. You might be his friend. You might be his father, his beloved, his servant. You might be in Shantarasa. Just seeing the Lord, you'll be happy. These are the relationships which you have. For these cheap things of this world, you're missing out of that. These are all cheap things actually. Just like, so what is this cheap thing? Just like a person goes to the store and then he says, oh, I want to buy this. And immediately says, do you have any discounts? He doesn't want to spend money. He's asking, do you have discounts? His nature is one thing. His nature is greedy. He wants that, but doesn't want his money to be spent. That's the nature which he has. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. When there is a cheater, he'll be cheated. When the cheating propensity, when the anarthas are there in the heart, there are persons outside who will try to cheat us. And then immediately he shows another cloth, which is of cheap quality. And then he says, this is there, this is available. And I'll give discount on this. Then he immediately grabs that. That will not stay for longer period of time. It will diminish. That means his money is gone. The thing which he purchased, that is also gone. Cheater and cheated. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. This world is designed like that. Cheater and cheated. Because his attitude is not right. Likewise, a person wants to be, he has that cheating propensity, he goes to a cheating sadhu. That's what Srila Prabhupada says actually. If the attitude is not right, what happens? He goes to a cheating place. And then he's cheated at that place. The person who is cheated, he's also committing sins, not just the person who is cheating him. He also has problem. Actually, I was thinking about that yesterday. How person is cheated and this cheater both are problematic. When Prabhupada says it's true, it's a fact. Because the reason is the person who is cheated, he also has a sinful tendency or cheating propensities in his heart. That is why he is addressed in that way only. And then why is he addressed like that? Because through that addressing, somehow he will learn. He will learn that I made a mistake. Then he'll correct himself. Otherwise, if that propensity is not there, he will never learn. He'll never learn in his life. He will always remain like that. He will always be he always does cheating and he'll be cheated. This is a problem in the heart. For example, if a person goes to the other person, again on the plane of Karmakanda. Karmakanda is what? Cheating propensity. He goes. Why? Through that karmakandic process, he says, Swamiji, can you help me? My business is down. Please help. My business wants to, it has to come up. The propensity is there, right? Because obviously he'll use that business in his sense gratification. That's why the cheating propensity, that is called as cheating propensity. Because we are using the so-called things for our own things, for our own enjoyment. That itself is a cheating. Okay? She goes to that person, some spiritual person. And then he says, you give me $500, I'll give you a mantra. If you chant that mantra, your business will increase. Then he takes that $500 or 500 rupees, whatever it is. Now, this person has a cheating propensity. He goes to a cheating place because nothing will happen just by giving some money. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. Things will not happen just by giving or accepting some money. Because the problem is not addressed. Just like when the entire forest fire is burned off, still the roots are there. Again, the forest fire will come out, even though the entire forest is burned off. Again, within few years, it will manifest because the roots are strong. That means the sinful desire to enjoy this world is there. That's why he's always eternally he's been cheated. He's a cheater, and then he's cheated. Now that person will cheat him. Later on, he will cheat him. Later on, that person is cheated. Later on, this person is cheated. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Continuously goes on and on and on and on. So these propensities have to be addressed. One should never go to Vaishnavas for any material benefits. Never ever. So they're not there for that. They're not there for that. So never go and ask spiritual master that spiritual master I have this problem. No, problem is okay. Spiritual master, my business, spiritual master, my business is not good. I want to elevate the business. Please pray for me. They're not there for that. Now, in this also, there's one more thing. Because they are talking about fruitive mentality, right? But a disciple will also go to the spiritual master asking that there's a problem in the business. Can you please help? Because the disciple is already using that money in the service of Guru and Krishna. Because he's free from the tendency, sinful tendency of using the money for his own enjoyment. He's free from that. Then what is doing? Then he is eligible to go and ask the spiritual master. Because then spiritual master will pray, because that prayers will remove the propensities, because he'll pray to the Lord. He'll pray to Srimati Radharan because he has a reason for the prayer now. Because that if that is being taken care, he can use that Lakshmi in the service of the Lord. For that, one should go. Very, very important. Because what if you actually see Srila Prabhupada, wherever he goes, if you actually see Srila Prabhupada, you would see this temple. Oh, this is a beautiful temple. Let me use this. Hare Krishna, can somebody mute? Okay. Then Srila Prabhupada says, okay, see, this is the place. This is a big church. Just go and ask them. Will they give it for 100K or 150K? Please try to bargain so that we can use this for our temple. We can install Radha Madan Mohanji here. Please go and ask. That means propensity. Now what Srila Prabhupada is saying is he's using that money in the service of the Lord. And then he's bargaining for that. For this, bargain has to be done. Bargain shouldn't done for our sense gratification. Bargain has to be done for this. Because what is he doing? Wherever he go, whatever he sees, oh, this is a good temple, or we can construct a library here, or we can build this here. This is mood, this is attitude. Continuously. This is what he's aspiring for. He has nothing in his life. Because if a person is doing it again and again, just imagine how much happiness is getting in the heart. So much happiness is relation. That's why wherever you go, Jare Deko Tare Tare Kaho Krishna Upadesh. So these personalities, they can elevate continuously. That means everything is used. Everything has to be used in the service of the Lord. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. Just even thinking about that state, when Mother Draupadi was actually giving that morsel, how happy she is. She was elated actually. Krishna, you found something. Let me give it to you. Because she was also kind of worried because Krishna came after she ate. Because she was always thinking in her heart, Arey, Krishna should have come 10 minutes before. Arey, yaar, I just ate. Krishna should have come 10 minutes before so that I would have fed him. Along with my husbands, I would have fed Krishna also. He would have been so happy eating with all the Pandavas. No, she was crying, she was lamenting in her heart. I did not feed Krishna. What's going on? What's my life? What is this life for? There's no existence to this life. She's feeling like that. And then finally, when she found that morsel, they're not worried like, oh, Dhruva's Muni will come and kill us. No, they're not worried for that. They're just worried about the Lord. They're not worried about the difficulties in their life. They're just worried to serve the Lord. And this is the way. There's that one morsel. The moment she saw that one morsel, oh, her heart was elated. She was joyful. She was jumping up and down in her heart. And then she submitted that morsel very with so much devotion. And Krishna accepted that. This is what Krishna accepts. On the other side, Durvasa Muni, he made 1,000 preparations. Krishna didn't even touch it. Didn't even touch it. He will not touch it. Because then there's no devotion in that. Oh, he made 1,000 preparations. Krishna will not touch. Just like if we purchase something outside and then we offer it to the Krishna, Krishna will never touch that. Krishna will ask, "Aap kab banayenge? When will you prepare? I will take only from you." Because Krishna wants relationship from you. He's aspiring, "Aap kab banayenge?" He's telling. He's looking from us. He's not looking from some person who is prepared in the restaurant. He's not looking for that. Just like Duryodhana, he made the preparations. Krishna doesn't touch it. Vidura, he gave peels, banana peels to Krishna. Krishna accepted it core to the core of his heart. Sudama, he bought some chipped rice. He had nothing actually. The entire thing is lost. Just some chipped rice. Krishna accepted it. This is devotion. Now, this is the reason why we need to honor Prasad. Because Krishna is happy if we honor Prasad. That's why we will honor Prasad. Krishna likes it. Krishna likes it. That's why I'll take it. That's why Krishna likes me being fasting. If there is no Prasad, Krishna likes that. I will do it for him. This is determination. Mother Draupadi, she was so happy. She was elated. I always think about this. I feel so happy. Because what is that consciousness, dear devotees? To please Krishna. The consciousness, you know what kind of happiness it gives? Unimaginable. But on the other side, having the mentality of cheating, to be cheated, doesn't have any sustenance in it. There's no existence to it actually. This is a process. And then the moment Krishna accepted that morsel, he was fully satisfied. He was so happy eating that. Because when he is satisfied, dear devotees, the prasad which we honored after that, we will be satisfied. This is Krishna consciousness. This is a process. Slowly, slowly, our attitude will be transformed in that way. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to. Today is holiday also. I didn't realize the time. Today is holiday. Okay. Anyone else would like to add anything? Like to stop here. Anyone would like to share any reflections from the festival? Any reflections from our discussion about Karma Kanda? Would like to add anything?
Prabhuji, thank you for the morning message. I feel like it solves some of my questions. But my question is, you said I have a couple more questions. So you said one person is cheated, like who is going to a cheated sadhu, and the other person also getting cheated, right? But if they are happy doing that, um like suppose if he's taking money, he's happy, and whoever is taking mantra to
Mm,
increase his business, he's happy.
correct,
So
correct.
what is the problem with that for us if they are happy and they are happy doing it, but they are not understanding Krishna? But how can we tell them if they don't understand? But first of all, they don't, they don't understand Krishna and they are happy with that. What is problem for us and how can we solve that? Is there any need for us to solve that?
If there are dependents, definitely there's a need.
Mhm.
If we have a relationship with them, if they're in a position to hear, then definitely there is a need.
Mhm.
If there is none, then that's not our business. So the propensity of cheater and cheated, Prabhupada actually explains this very nicely, that they all manifest through the sinful desires and the tendencies in the heart. That's the only reason. Yes, both are happy. One person is taking the money, he is win-win situation, right? But that win-win situation looks like a win-win situation, but it's not a win-win situation. Both are losing actually. Both the sides it has been, it's a loss. It's a loss. Just like Duryodhana, he's also thinking that it's a good situation because I'm making thousand preparations to the Lord. But he didn't realize that Lord is not in a position to accept that because he doesn't have devotion, because his attitude is not right. So all these examples in the scriptures, it gives us a deeper perspective that we should ourselves be completely free from that. Now, I always think about that. Why Srila Prabhupada focuses these things a lot? Why he again and again proclaims, and why is he uh, pretty strong on the absolute truth? Because the mind is very chanchala. Chanchala hi mana Krishna. The mind is very chanchala. Arjuna tells Krishna that, my dear Lord, my mind is very chanchala. Please help me. I can even control the wind, but I can't control the mind. As the chanchala and the nature of the mind, or assuras know the nature of our mind. So that's why they tell us that these propensities, when we are in the modes of passion and ignorance, these propensities do come to us also. So the more we understand the truth on this plane, then what happens is that even the thought like this will, even at the thought level itself, we will be free from these things, because the mind will give these thoughts. That's okay, relax. Something is there, that's okay, be happy. But the thing is, these things, these are the propensities. For example, the moment we get up in the morning, the mind might say, that's okay, sleep for some more time. The mind will tell, you know, all of you are getting up early in the morning. The mind will tell, oh, that's okay, relax. One day, what happens? You should do this every day. It will tell. So it will keep us in a mode which is little away, which it will actually sidetrack. Oh, literally, we are not cheating on anyone. We're just sleeping for a few minutes. But even that is also cultivating a habit. Another habit. The mind wants to cultivate so many other habits other than the process of Krishna consciousness. Now, when we think about this, then when we see our actions, then we understand, this is a reason, this is a right reason why Srila Prabhupada is reiterating in this way, when he is explaining in this way. When he's giving us this truth in this way, it's very important for us to understand. So that's why the propensity, when we see our heart, first we should be completely free from this, and then we should see that our dependents are also not in that game of fruitive, because this fruitive is a very problematic. Making sense, Amma? Ramya Mataji?
Yes, so thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, this is helpful.
Prayers.
Rich.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Prabhu, please tell.
Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita, we learn about the yoga ladder, right?
Uh-huh.
So above animal life, so eating, mating, sleeping, defending,
Uh-huh.
better than that is karma kanda. And
Uh-huh.
then better than karma kanda is nishkama karma, sakama karma, then nishkama karma, then bhakti yoga, then prema bhakti.
Correct.
So, so karma kanda is good for people who are in animal life, right? So
Yes.
it's slowly helping them. But again, I think if we can engage the people in animal life directly in Prabhupada service, then it's elevator process.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, for the gradual process, karma kanda is not bad for like following the Vedic principles for them.
Yes, because when one follows karma kanda, he'll one day he'll be frustrated. Just like as he wrote that he was not satisfied. Then he calls Narada Muni. Then Narada Muni says that you write Bhagavatam. Then you'll be happy. That's beneficial for you. So when one really follows karma kanda, one day he'll be dissatisfied. Through the dissatisfaction, he'll meet devotee. When he meets the devotee, then his life is transformed. So that means that is also a stepping stone. There's a reason for it. Everything there's a reason. So that is also a stepping stone for him. But the problem is, it will take few lifetimes to come to the plane of pure devotion. It will take few lifetimes. But we are not rejecting the Vedas. That doesn't mean that we are favorable to that also. We're completely, we as a sadhaka, we aspire never be fruitive in our life. Because that is not our business. But in general, people, everyone is fruitive only. Who is not fruitive? Everyone is fruitive. I myself am talking about we come through that fruitive plane only. But slowly, when we take the association of the acharyas, their words, their instructions, then the fruitive propensity is removed. These are the weeds are removed from the consciousness. When the fruitive is completely removed, then what happens? Then machittam madhagada prana bodhayanta parasparam kadayantascha mamnityam tushyanti taram ramanti cha. Then happiness comes through the process. Yes, fruitive is there, but the solutions when we see through the acharyas, that is our hope. And we ourselves should always be cautious. We do not fall prey to that fruitive mentality. Hare Krishna. That is the reason why they are there, to give us that frustration, because the process will not give satisfaction. Because, for example, if a person worships worships Lord Shiva for a husband, then he gets a husband. But that husband will not be perfect. Frustration. For a few lifetimes, as she worshipped him, Lord Shiva, for a few lifetimes he might have a good husband. Or she might get a good husband. But it's all on a temporary plane. But one day that frustration will come. Then he will. That is the reason why dharma, artha, kama, and moksha is there. First there is dharma. What is that dharma? Fruitive. If he does it, then through that fruitive act, that is the essence. He's fruitive. He does his dharma according to that, and then he gets artha, wealth. And then through that artha, what is happening? Kama is fulfilling the desires. And then when the desires are not fulfilled, obviously the desires will not be fulfilled in this material world. Nobody is satisfied here, for sure. The desires will not be fulfilled. He will aspire for some desires, but that will not be fulfilled. Then he will turn towards moksha. अरे यार इधर कुछ नहीं है. There's nothing here. Let me do this. Now that moksha is not the thing which we are discussing. That moksha is just liberation. What our acharyas are giving is beyond that. Moksha is only just temporary. But what they are giving us is, they are giving us nishkama karma, pure, without any tinge. I'll tell something. You all know Kadam Kanan Maharaj. How many of you know Kadam Kanan Maharaj? Anyone knows here? Okay, might not know.
Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj sings well, the bhajans and kirtan. Recently left his body, right, Prabhu?
Yep, it's been a couple of years.
This year.
Yes, so Kadam Kanan Maharaj, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, he meets before he leaves the body. It's a very interesting conversation between two exalted Vaishnava acharyas. The conversation is Bhakti Vasya Maharaj, he goes and then started speaking with Kadam Karan Maharaj. Kadam Karan Maharaj, he will leave like within a week or 2 weeks after that. So he goes. And then he tells, he goes because he made a statement that I'm not fearful of death. This is what the statement is. Because he knows he has a disease, is afflicted, his body is completely afflicted. He's about to leave the body. So, and then around that moment, he made a message that I'm not fear of death. I'm not fearful of death. And then Bhaktivasa Maharaj comes and then he inquires. And then he asks a question. Okay, now you're Acharya, you give Diksha, you have a lot of disciples, you take care of them, everything is there. It's all right, you're in the sannyasi plane, it's all right, it's great. This question is very interesting. This question is for all of us actually. What is the question is? His question is, now the normal people of this world who are doing their software jobs, or who have their prescribed duties, can they ever attain this state? That is the question. I'm not fearful of death. Can they ever attain this state? Then Maharaj, he told one thing which really touched the heart. He said, it is possible. And then he made a very bold statement. He said, if the sadhakas, if especially in grihastha life, if husband and wife, they're only coming together for Garbhadan Samskar, and they're completely free from sense gratification. and then use their time in the service of the Lord and perform the process of pure devotion, for them, this attitude will come. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. That means, what is this, dear devotees? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma is what? Taking care of family, this, that, so many other things. It's on a fruity plant. This is just a fruity only, dear devotees. Don't think that we are doing great, actually. I'm talking to myself again. I'm not great. So this is not great. Something like, oh, you're taking care of your family, this, that. Yeah. This is just on a fruity plane. This is still not pure devotion. Okay. Then you get some artha. Then you fulfill some desires. It's still not on the pure plane. Even that liberation, this is also not on a pure plane. But the word he said, husband and wife coming together only for procreation, only for Garbhadan Samskar, nothing else, no other business. When that comes, that person will also tell, I do not have any fear of death. It's a bold statement. And he proclaimed that. And then for that, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj said, what you said is absolutely right. So dear devotees, this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us. To be free from this bodily conception, this body, completely one should be free from this. What is fruitive? It's on a bodily plane. Fruitive activity is what? Is on a bodily plane. It's not even on a mental plane. There are different planes. It's not even on the platform of mental plane. Forget about Ananda. So when one puts little steps towards that, marching towards that, our only focus is that. To be free from these things and then to get something which is higher and superior. When we get that, just leaving this will, but for that we should consciously leave this. Because there is an argument in this. A lot of devotees will always say this. Now, if Krishna gives mercy, if Krishna gives me happiness, then I will leave the sense of gratification. No, that will not happen. ये छोड़ने के बाद वो मिलेगा. ये पकड़ने से वो नहीं मिलेगा. When we hold on to this, we cannot get that. We have to leave this to get that. That's what Maharaj said. He said, first one should be free from these things. Then do the services. Then when the services go deep, see the person who is about to leave his body, he spoke these words. And his attitude is something so special. You know what he told after that? If I caused an inconvenience to any one of you, please excuse me. My motive, my motive is correct. Please understand. This attitude is something special. They all carry the same heart. Very, very important. Hare Krishna. I quickly wanted to share that. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Amshila Prabhu. Would you like to add anything?
No, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Thank you all very much. Anyone else would like to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Amma Sushilpa. Please tell.
Thank you for for sharing the message. Kadamba, I forget the full name, please.
No problem. Kadamba Kannan Maharaj.
Kadamba Kannan Maharaj. Yeah. So somebody forwarded that message that he gave just before one day of leaving his body in one of the group also. So I did hear the message, Prabhuji. So profound message. He was very, very weak, very, very weak, not even in a position to speak. But then the message that he gave is very profound. At the end, he said, "Don't worry, we will all sure meet in the spiritual world. Just be in the moment. Just follow. Just listen. Just chant, and do for the whatever you do for the pleasure of Krishna, and then we will sure meet." It may sound in this world that it's not possible, and with that not possibility, it might we might think like, let me go down, what is this all going on, and so forth. But no, stick with it. We will all sure meet in the spiritual world. This was 1.5 years ago or so, 2 years ago, so didn't understand much at that point, but it sounded like fascinating. What is Maharaj talking? And but eventually, slowly, when we hear the truth, as Maharaj said, be in that stage, continue to be in that stage by listening. Slowly, that faith, and then with mercy of acharyas, I'll get that true sense what Maharaj says. In one sense, it's all impersonalism at that point when I heard first, and slowly, um, knowing Krishna, knowing about Krishna and how merciful he is, and how his relationships are. Maharaj's message is making more sense now, slowly. I just wanted to share that realization. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Because it is very important. Our what we are doing, what we are hearing, what we are eating, what we are everything counts. Those are the things which uplift one's consciousness. Everything. There's nothing that this has to be done in this way or that has to be done in the other way. No. Everything has to be done for his pleasure. So that Garga and Samskar will also become auspicious. That coming together is also, we remember, we relish that thing. Oh, it's beautiful. That also becomes auspicious because Krishna says, I am that. Krishna, he himself, he personally says that I am the seed giving father. Who is giving that seed? Krishna is giving that seed. Aham bija pradapita. Not we. That means how can I proclaim that he is my son? Or how can I proclaim that he is my daughter? It is Krishna's son and Krishna's daughter. The mother's womb is the place where the child grows. Who is creating that mother's womb? It's the Lord. Everything will begin to make sense. Everything. Who is putting eyes? Who is putting nose, ears, heart, consciousness? He reciprocates to the mother, to mother's shlokas. Whatever mother is reciting, the child reciprocates from within. I have experienced multiple times. My wife telling so many things like that. I don't want to go into those details, but they're so fascinating actually. So beautiful. They give a lot of cherishment. I'll tell you one thing. When my first daughter, she was in her mother's womb, she wouldn't reciprocate to anyone. But when devotees come, when the spiritual master comes, then she immediately becomes active. My wife told me multiple times like that. They reciprocate their devotees. They're powerful souls. There are various examples like this. When my wife does something, she will not see any reciprocations. But the moment she sits in the class, or she chants Hare Krishna, or she meets, or she discusses with the spiritual master, she becomes so happy. She would immediately see reciprocation, so many reciprocations. These are all facts. I remember so many examples when devotees do Garbhadan Samskar, and then when they aspire for that, when they do that, then their children are so different. When two people come together, when they are in Tamoguna, it's not even Rajoguna. Tamoguna is what? They drunk and then they come together. And then through that, they have conception. Through that, they have children. So if they are in Tamoguna, what kind of children will come? Children also will be in Tamoguna. So science. It's a practical science. So these things, these samskaras, they actually help sadhaka to deepen his faith and conviction in the process. So beautiful things, actually. Prabhupada says so many times, this is a science. This is science. Krishna consciousness is science. He writes in various places. He says, I'll tell this and then kind of conclude. He says, one should approach spiritual master before husband and wife they want to have children. I was thinking about this. Before I met my spiritual master, I read this. I was thinking about this so much. How is this? What is the intention? Why Srila Prabhupada would have told like that? What is the reason behind it? What is he trying to give us through this? The first and foremost thing, he wants to give us that submissiveness, and then he wants to depend. He wants us to take mercy from, take prayers, offer, take the blessings from them. And then Prabhupada wanted us to come in that pure state and then come together. Because the consciousness is what matters. With what consciousness both people are there. You see, even in our olden days, our elders, they used to tell, once the mother is pregnant, they used to tell, do not tell her any negative words. Have you heard this? Do not tell her any negative words. Tell always auspicious things to her. They're not devotees. They're just like normal people. We have seen that, right? So many people telling it. Because why they tell like that? Because they know there's a life in that. That life has to be given those beautiful nectar intricacies. It might not be Krishna Katha, some good things, some pious things, so that the child will grow happily in the mother's womb. So that the child is not afflicted with fear or some pain or some anxiety. Because they hear, they understand. No, people of this world, they do not understand this. And then they do abortions. So sad. The moment they hear that there is a girl, they do abortion. Now, if you see, the sex ratio is different, especially in countries like India. So to get married for a boy after after 30, 40 years, it will be difficult. Because everybody wants boy. Nobody wants girls. Hare Krishna. So sad to hear. See how much we are in the bodily conception. So sad. Because cheater. And they will be cheated brutally. The girl will come into their life. The girl will take away the husband. Because that is their nature. They did cheating before. Now they are cheated. That's not the problem of the girl. That's the problem. That's the problem of the parent. He never want girl in his life. Now that girl becomes Durga Devi in his life later on. It's all. You do this, you get this. Now when I begin to think about this, what our acharyas are giving is something profound. They are completely removing us from karmic reactions. For that reason, they say only come together for procreation. Because the other time when you come together, it's a karmic reaction. That is the reason. One should be completely free from this. Because, dear devotees, if we are not free from this, we will remember our husband at the time of death. For sure, I write it down. Or we will remember our wife at the time of death. Again, I'll write it down. Because why? The moment we remember them, we get those bodies. We don't want to get those kind of bodies again. Neha Vikramana Pratyavayana Vidyate. Salpam Apyasya Dharmasya. Krishna is telling again and again. If you do little service to me, one morsel, Draupadi Amma has one morsel, Krishna was satisfied. Likewise, one service. Few days back, I was sharing in the group, right? Prabhupada's message. What was Prabhupada telling? You don't do big things. Do one pure thing. One pure thing. Ek karna, one karo. Ek do one thing. Do one pure thing. I'm satisfied with that. That's unity aspire. That one pure thing comes to consciousness. The consciousness is uplifted. So much. Then all these things are addressed in the heart. Hare Krishna. I'd like to share that. Thank you. Anyone would like to add anything? I want to hear from devotees. Anyone would like to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Please tell.
Thank you so much for Prabhuji. Every day you remind us what is important in our life. Because our mind, at least my mind, is very, chanchala, and once we get to the work and all these things, we tend to forget. But every day morning, you realize us how important this life is and how we have to serve the devotees. Because serving, of course, I chant, but in the mornings, Brahma Muhurta, 90% of the times, but my quality is not that good. But after hearing you, I try to chant one or sometimes two rounds, and it makes a lot of difference, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Subal Prabhu. Thank you so much. I also experienced what you said. When I chant after reading or when I chant after discussing, rounds will be better because the consciousness will be elevated through the process of Shravana. Then when we do Kirtana, it makes sense. Thank you for sharing that. It's very important. What Subal Prabhu said is very, very correct actually. Very important. Because when a sadhaka does an action, what is it? Chanting, what is chanting Hare Krishna? It's an action. It's a practical action. So the moment we hear and when we do it, then you see difference. Definitely. Absolutely agree to what Subal Prabhu said. So it is so important. Just imagine, dear devotees, at the time of death, if we are in the midst of devotees, what is a blessing? And whoever serves the devotees, it's the greatest blessing. They will get that. Whoever serves the spiritual master, he will definitely get that. It's a great blessing. Just imagine, that means we are hearing from the devotees who are on the pure plane. We are hearing from them, and then at that moment we are leaving the body. Just think about this. It's beautiful. That means the consciousness is in the right mood. And then we are doing it. We get that state. And a lot of devotees, they aspire for this. I should die in the midst of nice devotees. It's a good aspiration. I always pray that devotees, like I should be with my parents when they're leaving the body. I aspire for that. Please, my dear Lord, please give me that chance so that I be with them. If possible, my spiritual master should also be with them. Please, please, my dear Lord. Do not have any other desires. Even they do not have any other desires in their life. Please, they want to live in good consciousness with the right attitude, with right mentality. Not just parents, so many devotees. Devotees also should live like that, among the midst of good association. Should leave the bodies like that. I remember my spiritual master, what he does is, he trains the devotees. For example, if a devotee is about to leave, he does magic to them. You know what he does? Since 1 week, he will go and talk to them every day for half an hour, 1 hour. He will train up their consciousness. For example, if a devotee is leaving in the next week, they know, right? They are leaving in the next week. So immediately what happens is he's immediately discharged from the hospital. First thing. Because they don't want to stay in those hospitals, leaving the body in the midst of a lot of pipes, this, that, so many other things. They get trained up in the process so nicely that they themselves, they don't want to leave that body in the midst of that chaotic place. Now, I also ask for that. I do not have any desire to leave the body in hospital, putting all these pipes, that pipes, here, there. So what happens is, those desires, those devotees who are very strong in the process, they say, "Chodo yaar ye. Let me go, stay in the farm, stay in the dham, and then I'm going to leave the body in the dham." So the devotees would come. I have few experiences like that, devotees leaving the bodies in that way. That's why I'm telling. So the devotees, what happens is they forget those things, hospital, choda yaar, choda wo pura. Then they go stay in the farm, and then every day he comes and then talks to them. And then he asks, the first question he asks, what is the first question? Are you envious of anyone? It's a beautiful question. Then he says, no, Prabhu, I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy serving. I'm happy staying under you. Not envious, Prabhu. So that's how the question will begin. If you are envious, just remove him from your consciousness. Then he says, one should not be envious to even one person in this life. One person, dear Prabhu and Matajis. One person. If you're envious of one person, again you have to come here. That's the first lesson he says. He says, just be non-envious, completely free. Then slowly, he'll tell about the glories of the Lord. He'll tell about the glories of Srila Prabhupada. And then slowly, eventually, he will leave them in the midst of the devotees. That's the process. Hare Krishna. So, it's a beautiful science. This is what we need to aspire for. The aspirations, we should have those aspirations. Please aspire for this. Hare Krishna. Do not aspire anything else in this world. It has no substance in it. That's my experience. There's no substance here. It looks, but it is not there. It is there, but it is not there. We can see, but we cannot see. That is this world. Hare Krishna. So, I don't want devotees go to hospice and then stay there and then leave the bodies like that. No. No. We are against that. At least I'm against it. We should be against it. Kya hai yaar? What is that? Simply be free from all of these things. Be free. Chodo yaar. One life. Prabhupada says, give this one life to Krishna. One life, na? Just one life. Krishna will be very pleased. Prabhupada will be very happy. When obviously Prabhupada is happy, Krishna is happy. Correct. Because just imagine, we discussed about this, right, yesterday, which I felt so happy after discussing that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he descended. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended, all his associates came along with them. That means when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is leaving, that means when Krishna is leaving the spiritual world, then he leaves with his devotees. Okay. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, all these personalities left. But Srila Prabhupada came, not when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. Srila Prabhupada came when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. Just see his attitude. Now he can stay in the spiritual world, but no, he came. For why? He came for us. Came for us. How merciful Father he is. Hare Krishna. Please think about the glories of Srila Prabhupada. Please think about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please think about the glories of Srimati Radharani. Please. This is our life and soul. When you think about this, Krishna will be there with you. I'll write it down. You are not. We are never away from Krishna. We are always with him. So at the time of the death also, we'll remember him. Because he'll personally come and take us back to Godhead. That thing will come. That thing will come. Always think about this. I should remain in the association of the devotees at the time of death. I should remain, I should remain, I should remain. Because we should get that strength that I am not fearful of death. This should come in our heart. Because these words are with full of conviction. This should come. The more we absorbed in this, the more we get it. If the absorption is somewhere else, we will not get this. The absorption should be here. Here only should be our absorption. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Again, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaura Hari Premanande.
Jai.
For humble obeisances and all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desert, who can fulfill the desires of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is it too late for me to do the Prem Davani, or do you still
No,
want me to do it?
please do it. Please do it.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna. I'll now sit the Prem Davani. Javam Shamada Paramahamsa Bhriv Rajikachara Shrita Shishimar Esi Bhakti Viranda Samaraja Shilabhar ki Jai.
Jai.
ISKCON Prabhuji Father Acharya Shilabhar ki Jai.
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 Javam Shamada Paramahamsa Bhriv Rajikachara Shrita Shishimar Bhakti Siranta Saraswati Samaraja Shilabhar ki Jai.
Jai.
Anantagoti Vaishnavand ki Jai.
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 समाचार रासिकोर की जय
Jai.
Jai.
प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री ऋतिक राधे शिव श्री गौर भक्तविंद की जय
Jai.
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम मुक्त राधा गंगे यवरंग की जय
Jai.
श्री मायापुर धाम की जय
Jai.
श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय
Jai.
श्री जगन्नाथपुरी की जय
Jai.
गंगा माई की जय
Jai.
यमुना माई की जय
Jai.
तुलसी देवी की जय
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की जय
Jai.
श्री नाम संकीर्तन की जय
Jai.
समवेत भक्तिविंद की जय
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
All girls is on the Vati Sri Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
All girls is on the Vati Sri Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
All girls is on the Vati Sri. All girls is Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Ganga.
Hare
Namami
Krishna.
Smarai Krishna Prasad Bhutla. Srimati Bhakti Varanda Swamiti Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bicharani Nirvishesha Sunyavari Prasad Shridharani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vita Grada Shiva Sri Gauravaktinda. मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राराधिकातरालय कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय भक्ताय नमो नमः वञ्चकोपतर्विषः कृपसिंहे च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Hare Krishna, everyone. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. One request. Can I see the child who is chanting Hare Krishna in between?
Say Hare Krishna, Papa.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So nice to see you. What is your name, sir?
Ahin.
Vahin Nitai Mohan Prabhuji.
Vahin Nitai Mohan Prabhu. Very nice. Beautiful name. Hare Krishna.
And thank you, Prabhuji.
Uncle, can we also see you? I want to see you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.